goes.
All right.
Check, check.
Check, check.
Hey, folks, this is Mike the Builder.
And this is Sage the Architect.
We've been doing design build together for about 5 years.
But we have an open relationship.
And you know, Mike, when where's the clicker? Hold on. When I think about sustainable design, I think about the whole rainbow. You know, I think about red as the vital energy of the project, the embodied energy, and orange as the juicy opportunity. And yellow, the sun energy, of course, bringing in the light and the heat. And then there's blue, that's the spine of the project, because you also need mechanical systems to bring in the light and the heat. And purple.
I love purple.
Purple's my favorite color, Mike. Maybe that's why we get along so well.
I love purple.
You know, purple is the soul of the project.
That special thing.
And the heart.
And the heart, yeah. But what about green?
Well, exactly. Green.
Green.
You know, that used to be a tough sell. And, you know, products used to be tough to get, and sometimes the installation was overly expensive. But let me toss this back to you. You're the builder. What about green?
Well, especially in this project, which is a remodel, you know, I think it's our jobs to be the guardians of greenwashing. Always on the alert for mostly good ideas that have that fatal flaw or just don't have the durability to stand the test of time because, you know, that's the real green. Doing the job once, because when I think about green, it's the green in our client's wallet.
The green.
The green. And that's got to be the main thing. Otherwise, we just have another 1914 house that's leaking energy all over the landscape.
Leaking energy, indeed.
So, you know, what we're excited to bring you here tonight is what I think of as an essential recipe in every builder's and architect's repertoire. You know, the projects presented here have come, they show how far we've come since the dark ages of the 80s or the 20s to where we are now, living in a world where an energy positive home is something that you can just build and
can do that
and make money at it. Feature that. Now it's a matter of trade-offs and compromises and making choices. And so I'm always looking at 4 things, and we're wary of lists, but there are 4 things. And the first one for me is, of course, the homeowner, because that's who we're working for.
We're doing
right?
it for them.
Yep.
It's their idea.
It's their idea. And, you know, then there's the home, because every single one of these older homes is unique. And then there's the neighborhood, because a lot of cool homes and buildings in this city have been erased. And now, for many, that's a fine thing. It's their time. They're due. But I also feel like we have a responsibility to the diversity of our neighborhoods and our architectural heritage, such as it is, even though these are, by and large, Sears kit homes. And the 4th thing, of course, is the planet, because, well, this is the Northwest Ecobuilding Guild, right?
That's right. That's well put. Yeah. And, wow. You know, we had the opportunity to save this one from the jaws of the bulldozer. And it's kind of hard to not show you some floor plans. And I'm not going to say too much about those slides, but it helps me to remember to tell the story. And, well, I have a list of 4 things too. And before we get into the nitty-gritty of the project, these kind of span all projects to me. Mm-hmm. And all projects, they have a list of must-haves. And I think those tend towards the reasonable.
They do.
And then there's always the wish list, you know? And we're finding that that is about roughly 3 times the project budget, which is, you know, that's where we have to help rein them in.
A little commonality.
And then there seems to always be this little secret pot of money for that one thing that they just gotta have, whether that's the cork floors or the big-ass cistern or something. And then something I've kind of come to grips with, finally, is that all projects have their own timeline, as you've seen tonight. And, you know, some zip by, some start and stop for various reasons, and some have a more extended timeline. And this is one of those projects. So right now you're looking at the design development final drawings, version 16, and that's not that common. And you can see there's still some red ink on the page here. As the homeowner was signing off on these drawings, we're still adding and changing just a couple more things. And so I want to call your attention for a second to the blue rectangles on the page, and that is one of our bigger moves we made on this project, and we actually moved the main stairs. And we put them there. And we didn't hire a feng shui expert to help us out with it, but we certainly did change the flow. And Mike, I really like the way you take apart Seattle houses.
Well, and I like to put them back together again, too, eventually. Well,
Like that?
Like that, yeah. And that's the end result.
Yeah.
We are here to make these Seattle gems relevant for the next century. I became a contractor that specializes in remodels because I felt like we had plenty of cool houses in Seattle, and there was just a lot of them that needed love. And there's a reason that we people love these Craftsman homes. They're beautiful. They have beautiful lines. They have gorgeous living rooms and dining rooms. It's just, as we know, that their kitchens, their bathrooms, and their second stories tend to be kind of awful. They're hot, they're cold, and I met this homeowner at the Finney Home Center. I taught a class called Cheap and Easy Ways to Save Money on Your Home's Energy Bill because the vinyl siding on this house was doing most of the insulation. So
Need some help.
not long after she contacted me, we did a small project together, and that led to the bigger project, which, of course, included Sage.
And I'm really glad you brought me in on this one. And there were definitely some challenges. You know, I think that a lot of people would have put a box on top of this house some way or another to fit all the desired items in there. And not only did we not do that, but we couldn't do that because there was a covenant regarding the ridge. So we had to actually respect the existing height of this house. And we managed to tuck in some wonderful features. We put a master suite on the top floor, and on the main floor, we erased Betty Crocker's nightmare of a kitchen and revamped that. And we also put in a sunroom where there was a bedroom. And we managed to tuck an apartment and a shop for the owner in the basement, and that's also revenue generating. We brought in a bunch of great daylighting, and we managed to capture a view. Was that a list?
That's a list.
Hold on a second.
Is that a list?
Wait
That's a
minute.
list.
You try and blow by that list?
Now, this
That
is
is-
an important list.
That's the short green list.
That
there.
is the short green list.
That's a great list for any project, man.
But
But we did a lot of cool stuff, and I guess I would say this is the spine. This is where we did a spinal adjustment on this project with all these mechanical systems. So,
there's that daylighting.
serious daylighting. I think we better go back for a second. I think you're skipping on me here. Beautiful kitchen. Just had to show that off one more second. And who's running this game anyway? And all this daylighting we brought in. And we kept some of the floors, and we put in some new marmoleum. And then there's a few shots of the master suite. There's a few more online. And Mike, I remember the first time you brought me over to this project, and you made me climb out on a roof and get a glimpse of the opportunity that we were going to have to see this beautiful view of the mountains.
I just like to climb on things.
Well, I know that about you now.
So, what is the recipe? It changes. But really, for us, it hinges on weighing the opportunities of each ingredient, but keeping in mind that each ingredient is going to change the flavor. And we're not starting from scratch. This is a remodel. We're respecting what is here. We're respecting the architectural elements that were already existing in the house. We did not touch the living room or the dining room. Those still have original plaster. And then 90% of the more of the design is completed long before hammer hits nail. We know enough to allow design opportunities to present themselves through the construction process. And we've created a system for that. It's called, what's that called?
Design build.
Design build, yeah. And we're hoping, we were really hoping to hand you a recipe, something tangible, but we realized suddenly as we're going through this, that most of the key ingredients that we got for this project came from people sitting here in the audience.
A lot of talent.
We are a guild. We share information, ideas, products, best practices, and we're better at what we do because of this organization. There is still an abundant supply of these homes waiting their turn. Now, some are really ripe for the bulldozer, and that's fine. But some are worth preserving, and they're worth giving the love and attention that they deserve.
So, Mike, thank you. One more question.
Yeah.
Was that really a Sears home?
I think it was the Banyan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having us, folks. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.